We have a lot of kids standing up. We have a lot of clowning around. We have a lot of fights.
Children throwing paper clips, spitballs, hanging out windows, climbing over seats, standing up.
They don't want to remain in their seats.
It's always important to stay seated.
Standing up, throwing trash, and talking too loud on the bus.
Don't hang your hands and your head out the window.
They also occasionally like to throw a bottle or some other kind of debris out the window of the bus.
And using profanity.
A couple of kids were clowning around, and one of them hit his head on the emergency latch and split it open.
We've all seen it before. Unfortunately, improper behavior on school buses can be a real problem.
That's why Montgomery County Schools have now launched the Ride by the Rules campaign to address behavior concerns on school buses.
This year, school principals are working closely with bus drivers to enforce the rules and get tough on misconduct.
Montgomery County views buses as an extension of school facilities, and students are expected to exhibit the same conduct on the bus as they do in the classroom. Furthermore, the bus driver has the same authority to discipline improper behavior as a teacher does.
Rules are in place to keep the peace and ensure safety on the bus. Violating the rules could result in loss of bus riding privileges, school suspension, or even expulsion. Please be aware, consequences for inappropriate behavior on the bus will be rapidly imposed. Now, some of you who ride the bus may be wondering where the line is between having a little fun and breaking a rule. How do I know if my behavior is crossing the line?
A good way to know if you've gone too far is to imagine your parents are on the bus with you.
Would you still act the same way?
Hi, Josh. Hey, Josh, what are you doing?
Nothing, Mom.
It looks like you're defacing the bus, young man.
Or to give you an even better sense of how uncivil school bus misbehavior can be, just imagine how freaky it would be to see parents breaking the rules.
Rule number 1. Stay seated while the bus is moving. Make room for others to sit as well. I don't think so.
Excuse me.
Keep the aisle and emergency door clear of obstructions.
Keep your arms, feet, and head inside the bus at all times, and never throw anything out the window.
Watch me hit this car.
This is fun.
Don't damage or deface any part of the bus, and only discard trash where it belongs.
Don't smoke, drink, eat, or play radios.
Don't ride a different bus other than the one you've been assigned to, unless you have written permission from your parent and permission from the principal.
Never bring prohibited materials on the bus, such as animals, alcohol, tobacco, drugs, weapons, glass containers, and explosives.
Don't engage in any violent behavior or sexual harassment. These violations can be considered a criminal offense and may be punishable by law.
Hey, Mrs. Stevens. I've been watching you at the PTA meeting. Would you come here and give me a kiss?
Oh, all right. I get the point.
Okay, guys, that's enough. Can we please grow up?
Wow, now that was disturbing.
Uh-huh. I certainly hope none of you out there act like that.
So let's talk briefly about that earlier rule condemning sexual harassment.
Montgomery County Public Schools policy defines sexual harassment as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or other inappropriate verbal, written, or physical conduct of a sexual nature.
In other words, sexual harassment is any unwelcome behavior of a sexual nature.
So what if you feel you're just fooling around, having fun? How do you know if you're sexually harassing someone?
One way to know that you have crossed the line is when the person gets uncomfortable and demands that you stop the behavior.
Sometimes a person feels too scared or intimidated to speak up. Just because nothing is said doesn't mean that it's okay. Remember, when it comes to sexual harassment, it's really about impact on the target or the person being harassed, not the harasser's intention.
So it's not about whether the harasser intends any harm or is just kidding around. It's about the harasser's impact on the person being harassed. If he or she feels uncomfortable, scared, or threatened by the behavior, then the behavior needs to stop. Your safest bet? Just don't do it.
You know, when you think about it, sexual harassment really is just one form of bullying.
I remember being bullied on the bus and feeling really threatened.
I remember a time when I was being bullied so bad that I told my parents I'd rather stay home than ride the bus to school.
At one time or another, you yourself may have bullied someone. You might have even said to yourself, all my friends were doing it, so I just joined in, or everybody bullies, it's normal.
Or how about this excuse? They deserved it.
Bullying behavior is never acceptable. It's cruel and abusive.
No one deserves to be bullied, ever. Now, some of you may be saying to yourself, school bus rules are all well and good, but I drive to school.
Well, come with us. These next words of wisdom are for you.
So here's the school bus. Here's you driving up behind the school bus. Or here's you approaching the front of the school bus from the other side. When a school bus is stopping or has already stopped and the alternating red lights are still flashing, all vehicles must stop at least 20 feet from the front or rear of the bus.
This is a state law that applies everywhere, including school driveways and parking lots. Illegal passing of a school bus can result in as many as 3 points on your license and a $1,000 fine.
You should proceed with caution only after the bus's alternating flashing lights have been turned off.
In Maryland, the only exception to this law is on a divided highway, a highway that is separated by a physical median. You are not required to stop when the school bus is on the other side of the divided highway from you.
So remember, when you see flashing red lights ahead, that means stop.
Whoa. All right.
Parents. Man, that's messed up.